Hi friends, and welcome to my channel where we encourage each other to be better and do good. I am so totally pumped about this week's video, but I have to also be honest with you. I have been so very nervous this last week trying to script and film and edit and publish for you the perfect YouTube video. So I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, hey, this guy's only had a YouTube channel and been making videos a couple of months. There is no way in the world this is going to be a perfect YouTube video. Now maybe some others of you are thinking, wow, the perfect YouTube video? I may need to watch this and see what this is like. I might get something out of it. And then there's that third group, the enhancers, I like to call them. Always have a good idea of how it could be done differently or better. You know, they could say, Alan, you know, I really think you should have music in your intro. Or Alan, the music you have in the video is too loud, or it should be louder. Or I like the way you use your studio. Or others would say, you know, you really should film out on location more. Or you know how you occasionally do travel vlogs? Yeah, don't do those. I don't like those. Others would be like, you should do more of those travel vlogs. I really enjoy those. So there's always, you know, going to be different opinions, isn't there? It's never going to be perfect for everyone. So what is the definition of perfect anyway? I mean, what does it mean to have perfect? That means the definition, be free of errors, faults, or defects. To be free, not have any faults or defects. Now, we're not perfect people, are we? So we're really not going to produce a product, whether it be a video or anything else, that is free of any faults or defects. It could always be improved on. It could always be made better. It could always be enhanced. So in that regard, in that line of thinking, no, this isn't the perfect YouTube video, is it? But, you know, there is another way I would like us to look at this today. You know, for years and years and years, I've studied photography. And I started studying photography way when I was a young kid. And as I've had different photography classes, especially early on, one of the discussions was always, what is the perfect camera? And it used to be, is it Minolta? Is it Nikon? Is it Canon? And now it's more, is it Nikon, Canon, or Sony? But what's the perfect camera? And the answer was always the same. All the instructors agreed the perfect camera is the one you have with you. If you're going to be a photographer and you don't have a camera, you're going to miss some pictures. You're going to miss some shots that are important. So you need to have a camera in your pocket, in your purse, or in your car. Now remember, this is way back before the day of everybody having a camera in their hand. Well, the young people have it in their hand. The next generation has it in their hip pocket. The next generation has it in their front pocket. And if you're over 60, you probably have it in your shirt pocket. But wherever it is, almost all of us now have our camera in our hand. But this is the day before that. You had to have the perfect camera. It was the one that you had with you. The same thing. When I first started learning about how to make videos, and I had this desire to start this YouTube channel and to start getting these words and messages that are hopefully positive and motivating and encouraging out to as many people as possible. I started watching videos about how to make videos. I started watching videos on YouTube about how to have a YouTube channel. And they all said one thing that was very, very similar, almost exactly the same. The perfect video is the video that you make. If you don't ever film a video, you don't ever publish a video on YouTube, you're not going to have a perfect video. You're not even going to have a good video. You have no video at all. So the perfect video to start out is the one that you actually film and the one that you actually publish. So that's where a lot of us are, I think. So let's turn this around and look at it another way. Have you ever, let's see, read a book, seen a movie, experienced something, and you thought, wow, that was perfect. That was exactly what I needed to see, read, hear, experience right now. Whereas other people experiencing the same thing, seeing the same movie, reading the same book, say, nah, that one didn't do it for me. I like something else so much better. This really didn't have impact for me. But for you, it did. For you, at your place, at your point in time in your life, that was the perfect thing. Now, my brother, used to tease me about, well, still does tease me, still teases me about a lot of things. But one of the things he used to tease me about was the fact that I always felt I needed to prepare for everything perfectly. If we wanted to take on a new hobby or a new experience, a new endeavor, a new activity, he's one of these guys that I envy so much, he would just jump in and start doing it. And I would always have to, and again, this is before the day of Mr. Google, I'd have to go get a book, which means you go to the bookstore or you go to the library, and I would read about it because I wanted to prep and I wanted to have it perfect. I wanted to be perfectly knowledgeable about whatever that event was before I actually started doing it. And I thought that learning about it would help me be perfect. And so I have books about golf, I have books about fishing, I have books about horseback riding, I have books about all these different things, these activities that we did, whereas he would just go out and start doing it, and he would get better and better and better at doing it, and I would also get better and better and better at doing it. But you know what? Not until I actually started doing it. I didn't get perfection in the preparation, in the planning, in the thinking of it. Now, not to say things shouldn't be planned out. There's a degree of planning, but we sometimes put off things, the action of doing it, until we feel like we have it perfected, don't we? So what things are in your life? Are there things that you have that's in your mind, in your heart? You have a desire to do something that you're not currently doing? We have a kind of an overarching general rule in our family that hey, if it's not illegal and it's not immoral and it's not fattening, you should probably go for it. So if it's not illegal, not immoral, not fattening, I'm going to encourage you, go for it. Is there something that you have been waiting till time is right, till everything is perfect before you do it? Maybe it's time to just step out and start doing it. Maybe, hey, is it writing a book? Have you ever wanted to write a book? Maybe that's something you want to do. I've encouraged all of my children to write a book. But there are a lot of people who, have told me, I would love to write a book someday, but I've got to get the plot all perfect. I've got to get the storyline perfect. I got to have it all planned out before what? Before I start. And the reality is, no, you're not going to have a perfect book by waiting for things to be perfect. The perfect book, the perfect plot, the perfect story is going to become when you take pen and paper and start writing that story, when you start keyboarding that story. That's when it becomes perfect. That's when you get better and better at doing it. Maybe it's a change of jobs, a change of career. And again, so many of us want to do something else. There's something else that we would so much rather be doing and really, really want to do, but we're waiting for what? For the time to be perfect, for everything to be right. I have a friend at work who I'm so proud of and so happy for. She just very recently actually left the corporate world because she had the desire to go in a totally different direction in her vocation. And she wanted to become a school teacher. Now, I can tell you right now, many of us, most of us would probably think this is not the perfect time to be a school teacher, is it? But she stepped out. She said, I'm not going to become the perfect school teacher by waiting for everything to be perfect. She left the corporate world, is doing her student teaching right now, and having an awesome, wonderful time because she gets better and better by the doing, not by the planning. Another fellow I talked to a few months ago, and maybe this is something that you think about. Hey, you'd like to relocate. You'd rather live somewhere else. Maybe it's a different part of town. Maybe it's a different part of the state, different part of the country. Or, hey, for some of you, maybe it's a different part of the world, right? But this guy, he told me, he says, I don't like where I live. I don't like the place. In fact, I hate it. I hate being here. I don't like the community. I don't like the people. I don't think the people like me. And I have been trying for 2.5 years to get out of here. Well, and I'm trying to have sympathy for him, but at the same time, don't a lot of us do that? We say we've been trying to do something when in reality, we could have done something, right? In 2.5 years, most of us could have applied for a different job with a different company or a different job to be relocated within the same company. We could have called a real estate agent and started looking to sell our own house or buy a new house in a different place. But most of us are just waiting for the time to, maybe not most of us, many of us, are waiting for the time to be perfect, for things to be just right before we start doing. Maybe it's a new activity you'd like to start, a new hobby, and you're reading and studying about it and trying to get it perfectly in hand, kind of like I did with fishing and golf, horseback riding and so forth, before you start doing. But I encourage you to go ahead and just start doing. You know, another friend of mine who also recently, just a short while back, left the corporate world because he wanted to take his family with him and see the country. So he and his wife were able to get jobs where they could work remotely. They continued to work, they bought an RV, they loaded up the children, and they, as a family unit, are traveling all across the country. And he's posting, and I'm texting with him, and he said, man, this is just awesome, it's marvelous. Yes, it was tough getting started, but it has gotten better and better and better because of all that we are doing. Not the planning, not the waiting for things to be perfect, but it gets closer and closer to the perfect because of what we are doing. So maybe there are things in your life that you have been waiting and putting off and planning for, waiting for the exact right time, the exact right moment, and for everything to be perfect in the planning, when I encourage you to start doing. Go ahead, step out there, start writing that book, start making those plans to relocate or get that other job or take up that new hobby. Some things are easier and simpler than others, and we still plan or tend to put them off because we're planning for it. Instead of waiting and waiting and waiting, I'm going to encourage and challenge each of us to go ahead and start that YouTube channel. Go ahead and make that first video and know, hey, it's not going to be a perfect video, but you know, maybe this video right here is for me the perfect YouTube video because it's the one I'm making right now. And hopefully there's a few of you out there hearing this message that are thinking, wow, that was perfect. That's exactly what I needed to hear in the time and place that I am in my life right now. So go ahead, step out, make those things start happening for you. Do those things that will get you better and better and better in the doing and not in the waiting for things to be perfect. Hey, if you've enjoyed the video, I appreciate so much you watching today. If you could go down below, it would really help me, encourage me. If you click that thumbs up button, give it a like, share it with your friends and family so we can get this word out to so many people and a much larger audience. Comments are always welcome. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe, hit that subscribe button, subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Videos come out every Monday morning. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.